Not one, not two, but 10 inmates escaped to jail in New Orleans, Louisiana. However, how did they escape and who are they? Let's find out right now. Wicked Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrickle, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. I hope you have a beverage. I hope you have a snuggle partner or a snuggle fur partner. Those are the best, and you're ready to hear a true crime story with yours truly. And as always, I want to know, are y'all drinking that water? Are y'all staying hydrated? Are y'all getting those tickers up? Remember, just a quick 20-30 minute walk, especially first thing in the morning, get those endorphins up, and you are going to have an amazing, wonderful day, I promise you. And as always, thank y'all all for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. Yes, I'm sure all of y'all have heard about the 10 inmates that escaped a New Orleans prison. As y'all all know, I'm about 35 minutes from New Orleans, and of course, we are all terrified out here. Where are these inmates? Where are they going? Where could they be? They escaped in the early morning hours of May 16th, 2025. This past Friday, not even a week ago. 5 days now, they have been on the run. It was said that a corrections monitoring technician stepped away to go grab something to eat. When they left, the jail had been locked down since 10:30 p.m. All of a sudden, inmates began to tamper with the door of a cell. They pushed and pulled on it until it broke open, and they snuck into a handicapped cell. Then a man squeezed through a small hole in the wall behind a metal toilet, and another after another after another. They left a message on the wall that read, "Too easy, LOL." They range from the ages of 19 to 42. They all have a variety of charges, including murder, aggravated assault with a firearm, and domestic abuse battery. What if they had help? What if they prepared for this for a while? And it looks like they may have used toiletries that they made to cut through the wall. The inmates then left the jail through a loading door where supplies were brought in, sprinting, jumping, and running off the dock. They scaled the fence along Interstate 10 using blankets they brought to shield themselves from the barbed wire fences. The inmates ran across train tracks, multiple lanes of traffic, made their way to a nearby neighborhood where they took off their jail jumpsuits. During a routine head count, 8:30 a.m., 7 hours later, the jail discovered that multiple inmates had escaped from prison. First, they thought it was 11, but then realized it was 10. They started a huge manhunt across Louisiana and 7 nearby states, such as Texas, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. It was said a number of suspicion questions about lack of transparency and a fury of accusations about who is to blame all started. So y'all know I have a couple of questions because a lot of what I read and what I saw doesn't seem right. Something seems very off. Number one, it was said they used blankets to shield themselves from the barbed wire fence. Okay, I don't know if y'all ever saw a barbed wire fence. I'm sure y'all all have. I have. And to me, a blanket is not going to protect you from going across a barbed wire fence. But I don't know. I've never escaped jail. I don't know, but that just seems kind of weird to me. Number two, it was said they shed their jailhouse jumpsuits in a nearby neighborhood. Were they walking around with other clothes? Did they have clothes underneath their jailhouse jumpsuits? What was it? I don't understand where the other clothes came from, and did they have other clothes they brought with them? Number three, and the big question, who is to blame for all of this? Because you can't just blame one person. You cannot blame one person. I've seen outlets say that it was the city's fault. It was the prison's fault. I also saw an article where they have been asking the city of New Orleans to help them, the prison has, and that just to replace the locks, just the locks on the prison is $5.2 million. That's a lot of money, y'all. That is a lot of money. But something needs to happen. Something has to happen. We can't have inmates escaping the jail. We cannot have this keep happening. And what is going to happen next? If we don't upgrade the security and upgrade the locks and hire more people, I don't know what else we can do. But something has to happen, because that's a lot of inmates to escape at one time. A lot of people were upset that the public wasn't notified right away. Why wasn't the public notified 8:30 a.m. when the jail found out? Well, I'm sure there's a certain protocol the jail has to follow. Like, were they hiding somewhere in the prison? Did they have to notify the victims? Did they have to notify the victim's family? I read that we weren't notified till 11 a.m. I also read somewhere that it was 2:30 p.m. However it was, the public did not find out till later on, which means for around 10 hours, we had no clue that 10 inmates had escaped jail and were walking freely around New Orleans. No one knew. However, that all came to an end for one of the inmates at 11:22 a.m. when Kendall Miles was found hiding underneath a car. I don't know if the car was parked. I don't know if the car was in a parking garage, but he was underneath a car at the Hotel Malion in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm sure he had no options. I'm sure he had nowhere to go. He was on foot. It's not like these prisoners had cars. Unless they had help, unless they had somebody waiting for them, where were they going to go? All they could do is walk around the city of New Orleans and maybe hope somebody would pick them up. I don't know what they were doing, but they really didn't have that many options. So he was rearrested and taken back to jail. However, we still had 9 inmates on the loose, but they were slowly going to start being captured. It was said that a few jail employees have been suspended without pay pending an investigation. It was also said that the jail was understaffed, underpaid, and underfunded. Not long after the inmates escaped, another inmate was captured. Robert Moody was captured and rearrested. And it was said by, I saw this on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, one of the social media outlets, I saw that someone said that he went live on Instagram after he escaped prison. I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, why on earth would you go live on Instagram after you just escaped prison? Not long after he was rearrested, DeKennon Dennis was captured and arrested. So now we have 3 inmates. And just this past Monday night, Gary Price was arrested in New Orleans East. I don't know if I heard or read, I think he was in some kind of abandoned house down there in New Orleans East. However it was, he was found, he was captured, and he was rearrested. Now we're going to discuss the inmates that are still on the loose as of now. First, we have Derek Groves, who was found guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. Leo Tate, his charges are simple burglary, possession of a firearm by a felon, multiple drug charges, theft of a motor vehicle. Corey Bard his charges are second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, aggravated battery, and illegal carrying of a weapon. Antoine Massey, his charges are domestic battery, theft of a motor vehicle, and parole violation. Gary Price, who was just arrested this past Monday evening, has multiple counts of attempted first-degree murder, aggravated second-degree battery. Linton Van Buren, his charges are second-degree murder, aggravated robbery with a firearm, possession of a firearm by a felon. Jermaine Donald, his charges are second-degree murder, aggravated battery, possession of a firearm by a felon. DeKennon Dennis, who has been captured and rearrested, his charges are armed robbery with a firearm, illegal carrying of a weapon, false imprisonment, aggravated battery. These are very serious charges against these inmates. And one of them, Derek Groves, has been found guilty of murder. We have to understand that these charges against these men are not something to play with. They are murder charges, attempted murder, false imprisonment, domestic battery, stealing of motor vehicles. These are serious charges that are being held against these inmates. And we have to understand that we have to be on the lookout. We have to be worried. And I know I'm worried because I'm only 35 minutes away from where they escaped. Where are they? Where could they be hiding? Is someone helping them? A lot of people want to discuss all of this with me as I like to discuss crimes. So they are very eager to come up to me and ask me my thoughts. And all of them have said the same thing. When I tell them, be on the lookout, lock your corridors, be aware of your surroundings, they all say, oh, Anne-Marie, they're not going to do anything to us. They just wanted to get out of prison. They don't want to harm anyone. Don't think that. Because do y'all remember this monster Gonzalo Lopez from Texas? Do y'all remember what he did back in 2022 to 5 people? 5 people, a grandfather and his 4 grandsons. Yes. Do y'all remember when he escaped from a prison bus? I think he had assaulted a corrections officer and the bus ended up wrecking, and some prisoners stayed on the bus, if I can recall. Some took off. I can't remember exactly what happened, but he was on the loose for 3 weeks. Everyone was looking for him in Texas. He found this ranch house. He decided that he was going to go inside because no one was home. He wanted to go inside of this ranch and hide from the police. He was on the run. He did not know that someone was going to be coming. And when a grandfather and his 4 grandsons showed up, he unalived all of them. And he was an escaped inmate. So no telling what these inmates could be capable of. We don't know, but we have to understand that we have to be careful. We have to be on the lookout, because I do not want anything happening to any of you. So all of y'all be aware of your surroundings. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, I want all of y'all to please be safe, especially in New Orleans or like me in the surrounding areas. We have no clue where these inmates are. There are still 6 remaining. No telling if they have help, no telling if they're hiding, no telling if they left the state, the country. No one knows where they are as of now. So I want y'all all to please be careful. Lock your windows, lock your doors, and just be on the lookout for these 6 remaining inmates. I heard there is a huge reward on them, leading to their arrest. So if you see anything, hear anything, please contact Crime Stoppers and let them know. And as always, stay safe, always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of y'all. And thank y'all all for the love and support. And I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press on the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne-Marie. I appreciate all of you, and for you, I am truly grateful. I will see y'all tomorrow night with another video. I hope y'all have a great night, and I love y'all very much. Bye.